here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Joseph.
Good morning. It's round 2 of Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B and Von Doom. We're going to go a little more into detail into Tom Roth and Dwayne Johnson. Give you a little more background. I hate Facebook when it does that.
Tom Roth and Dwayne Joseph.
Dwayne Joseph, Dwayne Johnson, whatever.
Hey, buddy, I'm just saying. If they hired The Rock, you guys might get more fans.
I know we'd get more fans. There goes your static stuff again. It's only when we go to restream. I wonder why.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's just a light hum in the background, like a flux capacitor. If you smell, LOL from Big Dan Davis. But so he was Tom Roth was with the Titans for the last 6 years, and before that he was with who? The Bills.
Yes.
So if you think about it, and Dwayne Joseph has only been with the pro director of the Raiders, right?
No. He's been around since 98. He spent time with the Bears, the Dolphins, the Eagles, and then he spent the last few years as the director of pro personnel for the Raiders. Yes. But he's been a regional scout, an assistant director of college scouting.
So we got some renowned guys that have had big jobs around the league to come work for this organization. Imagine that. You got a former GM of the year in John Dorsey, right? Didn't he get GM of the year one year?
With Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah. And that was because they went 11-5 and beat the Steelers in the playoffs that year, right?
Yes, sir.
So that would have been 2020 when the Steelers were the most fraudulent playoff team in football.
The worst 11 in whatever team in history.
They were 11-0. 11-0. The worst 11-0 team I ever seen. Almost as bad as that 13-4 team we saw play you guys in the playoffs and lose. Just saying. Everybody said the Lions were going to do the same thing last year. Remember all the fan bases that came in and talked all that crap just before the playoffs?
Yes, sir, I do.
And you secretly said, I kind of hope he does go in there and get his ass spanked by Stafford because that'd be funny.
Yes.
But it didn't happen. And it went down just like I predicted it would. We won. And it was a close game. And I said it would be a close game. Oh, how sweet. You're using my logo.
I'm going to delete this logo.
No. It has to be there because I need it.
Yeah.
Oh. So, just an area scout who was a national scout, and then we got the pro director who was a national scout and the director of college scouting, right? Formally.
Yes,
It just sounds like we want to have the best
How about this? That offensive lineman rookie that the Packers signed, Trent Jones, he retired from football after a few weeks with the team. He has north of 350,000 TikTok followers and is going to pursue being a social media influencer.
Okay. Man, you muted yourself mid-conversation, brother.
No, I didn't. I said what I needed to say and that I had it muted because I was getting a weird sound I was trying to fix.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Trent Jones, he played at Michigan. Yep, and he retired as soon as he was picked up by the Packers. Good for him.
That's what you get for having a bum from Michigan go to the Packers. I mean, yeah, go to the Packers.
No, he hates the Packers. That's why he retired.
He also said though last night though I saw that apparently he hurt his back and he doesn't feel like doing it anymore. It's just like why?
Right. But he's also not a Packers fan, so I think that helped in his decision.
Absolutely. And realistically, he's got 350,000 TikTok followers. Do you know how much money he can make off that? Like nothing.
Right.
Without having to put his body through that kind of beating day in and day out.
Yep. Kind of like the why I want to grow this to that many followers so I don't have to beat myself up doing tires anymore.
I feel you, man. We got to get more subscribers. So everybody out there, like, share.
Yes,
Make
everywhere.
your wife sign up, your kids, everybody. Make everybody freaking follow it. It's free. It ain't going to cost you nothing.
Yep. Sign every one of your TVs that stream up under a different account and subscribe. They don't even have to watch the show. Just be subscribed. Sitting at 439 right now. Streaming into my page that only.
Is it only going to your page right now?
It's going to my Lions page. It's going to my profile. It's going to our YouTube. And as soon as it's up and running, into the Roku app because I have all the access information and it's there. Ooh, notification. I know that noise.
Oh, yeah.
What,
Yeah, that's the thing.
what hooked up to your computer?
Sometimes it be like that, man.
But the other thing I got to talk about is it's the schedule release night. The Lions don't have an overseas game. Hallelujah, because those get leaked immediately, and they're never wrong, are they?
Not really.
We haven't had one time where it was the wrong game leaked out. But the Packers are away in Brazil. The Vikings and Bears are both home in London. Good for them. And the Giants are away in Munich, Germany. I think I'm going to free up a channel and not even go into my basic Facebook profile anymore because nobody watches it there. They all watch it on the pages, so I don't think it's necessary, and we can free up another channel spot. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay. But let's see. I'm working still to get that Hall of Fame player on here. My network is talking to each other before they talk to me. So I am working it hard. That should be happening soon. When he's on here, you guys will be shocked. That's all I got to say. Brave on Doom.
Yes.
It'll be quite possibly the best show I've ever done. And considering I've talked to Glover Quinn, I've talked to Stefan Logan, Mark Schmidt, Jeff Chadwell. I've even met face to face with Herman Moore at Soaring Eagle. I'm more excited about this guy than any of them.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Herman Moore was this guy before he was that guy. That's all. That's the only hint I'll give you. Wouldn't you agree with that assessment?
Man, that's a really, really hard thing to
If
even
you look at the
possibly say.
3 years in a lesser package, he was that guy. He was the guy that was doing all that stuff before that guy was a tickle in his daddy's pickle. I think we open up on Sunday Night Football versus the Rams. I do agree with that because it's already been leaked that the Monday Night Football game by the NFL Network is Jets versus 49ers. So the 49ers are out of the question on week 1. And also Monday Night Football's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the Thursday night opener is Baltimore versus Chiefs. So that's out of the question. The Friday night game, tickle in your daddy's pickle, is no, because none of those are bad words, Orlando. I have to use clean words here. I'm being nice. Absolutely. That's the goal. Good afternoon, Will. Nice you to show up. How was your Costco wiener this morning? Or wait, you work at Lowe's. Never mind. Let's see if we can break it. No, not here. I am not going to break FCC rules. I know on the radio they can say shit and damn and all that, but they don't drop F-bombs every day.
You must not listen to Pat McAfee.
I don't listen. I do listen to Pat McAfee, but Roku doesn't care about McAfee.
Will, lanyards will be available in 2 weeks, buddy. Just waiting on the stuff to come in, buddy.
What's that?
Will said he wanted lanyards, so I got
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff to make lanyards.
Oh, you got that too? Cool.
Yep.
You must have got paid.
No, I was just smart in doing stuff properly and moving other stuff.
Not a huge fan of debuting a completely new secondary versus possibly the best QB on the whole opposing schedule, but let's go. You know what?
Ooh.
I don't think they'll be the same team, but that doesn't happen week 1. That happens week 2 for the home opener, if I remember right.
You might be right.
Good morning, Lions fans. How's that? Is that good enough? I hope it is.
No, you said Lions fan. It's supposed to be good morning, Vietnam.
They're not in Vietnam.
Who cares?
Even though I live about 2 miles away from a place that looks like Vietnam.
Shit, I don't live 2 miles away from anything.
Love Robin Williams. We all did. Robin Williams was one of the first guys who not only was cerebral and funny, but also was an impressionist. George Carlin was cerebral and funny, but he couldn't do the impressions. Richard Pryor was more cerebral and funny than people gave him credit for.
440, buddy.
Hello! Yes, I love Mrs. Doubtfire. Yes, the golf Robin Williams was the best. Let's keep it to football talk, though, people. Come on now.
Did Robin Williams ever star in a football movie? I don't think so.
World according to Garp, he played football.
Ooh, so C-Man is free game. Just like we could talk Adam Sandler, Burt Reynolds, a bunch of different wrestlers. That guy, I can't remember his name, but his face is in my head.
Stephen Willie Beeman, Jamie Foxx.
No, not Jamie Foxx. Pacino.
Oh, Al Pacino.
Yeah, he played the coach.
Jeremy like shirt. Okay. Now you speak like Gronk. Even Gronk know that not real money.
I'm sorry, dude. She was great. Did you hear that he regrets doing the roast now?
Yeah, because a lot of his dirty air came out that he didn't want to.
Because people have been picking on his kids about it now.
Oh well.
All that Giselle stuff.
He shouldn't have said F those kids and went back to playing football last year.
Yeah, 100% should have. But he should have said F that wife too.
Well, she didn't have to. He didn't have to. The karate coach was.
Supposedly. We can neither confirm nor deny that was going on at that time.
Neither can he. But Nikki Glazer made sure it got out there, didn't she?
I think she was just trying to get some that night.
You know, I guess we're remiss to not talk about it, aren't we? We're going to be stuck talking about it because even though the actual details are not out, it's looking like that signing bonus is more of a roster bonus, and roster bonuses don't always count against the cap. And it's not a fully guaranteed, but it is 170 million guaranteed, and it's going to be stretched out over a 6 to 7 year span rather than all paid at once. The signing bonus, which is 73 million, is paid at once. That's what he gets up front. So that knocks down that cap number if you think about it, because signing bonus is included in that 212 million.
Mm-hmm.
So the 212 million minus 73 is what?
$212 minus 73.
The contract is 139 million. Is what his actual cap number will be over those 4 years. If you divide that by 4, that's a 34.75, but you got to add in that 73 divided by 4, correct? Because even though it's bonus, it's still what he gets.
Yeah. It still does count against the cap, but it doesn't have to be in that exact year. You can spread it out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It gets spread out, which is 18.25. So they're doing a portion of it this year and a couple portions of it at the end to lessen the cap hit is what I'm getting at. So let's make it divided by 6 because that's actually going to be a closer number, right?
Mm.
So that's going to be 12.166666. So might as well say 12.17, right? So if you take that 34 and you add the 12.7, he's getting 46.7 a year as an average with a balloon year in year 4, but there's no dead cap there, which is when he can go, which is, I know that's what you wanted this year, but now there's going to be dead cap involved.
I wanted his ass in Cleveland. Nobody wins in Cleveland.
What is realistic expectation for JMO target-wise, as I assume he's wide receiver 2 now? Does he get more targets? Is it about the same amount, in your opinion? How many receptions did he have last year? You got there, Von Doom? Wasn't it like 34?
No, I think it was like 40. Hang on.
I couldn't remember the stats off the top of my head. I usually do, but I've got so much stuff
Okay.
going
He had 24 receptions.
on. Okay. So he had 24 receptions over a 15 game or 14 game because they don't count the playoff stats in there in that 2023 year. If you add in the playoffs, he had 40 receptions because I think he had a total of 11 altogether. I know they're Will Vogel. That's for tonight. I can't wait for the game versus the Titans. Tailgating with Titans fans is fun. They're hilarious when they're drunk. You can say that about a lot of teams except for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, they're scum when they're drunk. They're scum when they're not drunk. Oh,
Remember, they went to a Super Bowl and won and burned down their city pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so he had 24 receptions. Josh Reynolds was the number 2 on the team. He had 40. So there's only 16 difference.
But if you look at the target difference, because he did have a lot more targets early, but because he had a drop rate, Goff didn't trust him anymore, right?
He didn't have that bad of a drop rate, though. It just wasn't great.
His first 3 games, he had 8 drops, is what I'm getting at. His first 3 games. Versus how many receptions? There wasn't a lot in those first 3 games if you do it by game.
So
that's what I'm
let's
trying
just
to
think about this. If he stays on his projection of getting better, losing Reynolds, him becoming the actual number 2, I could see him like 55 catches this year.
I said it should be between 50 and 60. So 55 is a. So let's say it's at the low end. Let's say it's 50. If you take his average of 14.8 yards per play, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's 50 receptions, let's go to the calculator here and let's do the math. It goes to exactly the number that I said he should get, 700 plus yards.
The only thing that really bothers me about that, though, is that's your wide receiver number 2 at that point. You drafted him in the first round. Even getting that increase and it being his 3rd year, he still doesn't touch what Laporta did last year as a tight end.
I understand, but at the same time, you're talking about a guy that no one has chemistry with. So I'm giving realistic expectations is what I'm getting at.
Well,
So
not
at
that
50
nobody has
receptions,
chemistry with.
50 plus, say what?
Not
But
that nobody has chemistry with. Just that
but
the guy throwing the ball this year doesn't have chemistry with.
right. What I'm trying to say, and let me finish it before you interrupt again. 50 plus catches, 740 yards, and about 6 touchdowns would be a successful season, is what I'm saying for JMO because of everything that's going on. Do you disagree with that?
Honestly, I believe anything for him under 1,000 yards is a bust this year.
I don't think is a bust. I think you're wrong because this will be his first full season. I
3rd year in the league, I don't care.
I know you don't care, but you're being unrealistic.
But ask any fan, they're going to tell you the same thing. He doesn't hit 1,000 yards or 10 touchdowns this year. That was a wasted first-round pick in their mind.
And Bill Vogel says, I was so mad when I went to the Panthers-Vikings game last year with my dad. He's a Vikings fan. Went there to on light rail to game. There were more Vikings fans. Well, that's because your team sucked. I think the over-under is exactly what he had last year for Laporta. Even though teams got film on him, they couldn't do anything in the second half of the season to stop him. He had 6 games where he didn't get a touchdown? Maybe 7?
He still had 10 on the season. Watch Laporta hit 1,000 yards this year.
Exactly, Big Dan Davis. If we see Goff doing the same thing, throwing into double coverage with his tight ends, and it doesn't matter if it's Brock Wright, Laporta.
It was only a rookie record, though. That's what I'm saying on that. It's not record breaking. It's just rookie record.
It was
he didn't hit 1,000 yards.
He didn't even
you got guys like Kelsey, Gronk. Name slipped my head. But they average 1,000 a year as a tight end.
Right.
Laporta's that kind of guy.
he should get better than his rookie year. Jesus Christ, you're a loud ass this morning, aren't you?
I dropped something. Leave me alone.
Breaking shit, dropping shit, interrupting.
Oh, interrupted. You're one to talk. I'm going to start taking notes from now on. We're going to keep track of this. You know, you could see a sophomore slump, but not because of him, just because that the defenses get to see him more. But with the new rules, with the way the tackle goes, he's going to have more yards and a ton of penalty yards. It just makes sense.
Who's wide receiver 3? DPJ or Khalif Raymond. They're going to fight it out. And if I know Goff, he'll make sure Raymond's is the wide receiver 3.
He plays favorites. He's like a bad parent right there, picking favorites between his kids. Exactly. That new rule, man. You have a tight end who's bigger than almost any D-back to begin with. So the only way for them to really get him is to wrap up and go low. If they're going to make that illegal, why wouldn't you just feed him the ball every single play? I agree 100% with you there, Dan. He's going to need those targets. And it's not just on Goff, because if he goes and starts doing the drops like he did last year at the beginning, he's going to not have that confidence with Goff, so he's not going to give him the ball.
For James to make this jump, that's a lot of people expect that wide receiver 2. He's going to need wide receiver 2 targets. And for Goff to hit him when he's wide open, if his QB doesn't get him the ball, he won't get close to 1K yards. He's absolutely right. You're putting expectations of a different style of quarterback on him. That's why I said it isn't fair. I'm saying if you look at it, his projection is about 50 receptions and 700 yards. If he's improved. As a minimum. And I said that as a minimum. Von Doom. I didn't say that is absolutely what he's going to get. He may get more. I say at a minimum it should be that.
Okay, you look at this roster, though, and then you just compare the fact that Goff threw for 4,500 yards, some fucking how, and divide that across the guys that are actually going to play. Should J-Mo not realistically have a 1,000-yard season? That's where I'm getting with that. But who knows, man? It's way too early to really do predictions like that because almost none of them are ever come out right.
I said we'd be lucky to get 500. I said it's probably going to be closer to 400 yards last year.
Hold on.
Because of the suspension. Keep his stats low so we re-sign cheap. There is no such thing as a cheap wide receiver in the NFL anymore. His market value will be as a wide receiver too. Christian Kirk ruined that number. It'll be 17 million or more. Watch.
Yeah, but Christian Kirk was the number 2 wide receiver. They got signed to Jacksonville and became their number 1 wide receiver and put up like 1,300 yards, I believe it was. And yes, he did sign an astronomical contract.
Yes, we are back. Live on the air. We are streaming into my Facebook page, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. We are streaming into Twitter, which is at Smokin' Jeremy B. We are streaming live into my YouTube, and we are also streaming into a Roku app that isn't active yet, but I want it there. That way, when it goes live, we're live and on time. There is no such thing as a home team discount anymore. We saw that with Goff, Orlando. Home team discounts are done. Home team discounts are done. We're not his home team. He's from Alabama. They don't have an NFL team.
Dude, like, there are some players that'll still give a home team discount because, you know, they don't really care about the money. They love the team. They love that. Goff, it's not his team. He loves money. Same thing with Matt Stafford. He loves money.
I love this platform, Brent, because it scrolls the chat.
It's so much better than StreamYard. It just is.
It's easier to add the overlays. It's easier to get the chat on the screen. We don't have to fight about it anymore. It's just there. I can address it. Chip chasing discount then? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Maybe for free agents, but not for guys on the team.
Yeah, old people. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we've gotten the vets as cheap as we've got them. Do you think Zietler would have came here for $6 million if we weren't a team that was favored to go to the Super Bowl?
No, Patty Grimes, the home team discount, home team bend them over, no butter, no spit, no nothing is what that was.
That was his agent grabbed that talisman and then handed it off to Jared Goff's agent this year. That's what that was. Old people. Yeah.
Old people, gotcha.
Orlando, as long as the cap keeps going up the way it does, there is no such thing as home team and chip chasing discounts, except when you're talking about aging vets that are just getting to the backside of their prime.
Or guys that are past their prime didn't get their ring. I understand that completely. Like, how many times did Adam Kong Soo go and sign with a contender that should have won a Super Bowl because he wanted the ring?
He got one.
Exactly.
No, he got two. He got two. He got one with Tampa Bay and he got one with Philly.
Once you make your money, it don't matter. You just go and you want the ring. You want a legacy. But I'm going to also say this real quick here. When it comes to quarterbacks, unless that quarterback is like a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, yeah, pretty much those three right now, I don't want a quarterback that's not on a rookie contract anymore because I think it hampers the development of the entire team.
Look at Joe Burrow. What if they had to jettison off that team for his $55 million contract when he can't even stay on the field?
Yeah, you know what, though? See, this goes back to something else. They have a bad scouting department that does not know how to address the offensive line. There was no reason for them to go out and try and get Lyle Collins after he was a turnstile in Dallas and they got rid of his ass. Bring him in to protect him. What happens? Oops, right past him, Burrow hurt. I like the pickup of Orlando Brown Jr., but he's not a left tackle. He is a right tackle in the league. There's a reason when he was with the Ravens, he played on the right side instead of the left.
Right.
They added some guys in the draft this year, though, that should help keep Patrick Mahomes up. End of the day, you need to secure your trenches if you want a high expensive quarterback because they're going to die if you don't.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. But Zietler is a right guard. That's why we moved Glasgow to left guard, because Glasgow actually played good at both guard positions in his career. He just doesn't play that great at center. JG went through hell and back, and look at him now, a throwaway. LOL. Brad Holmes killed it.
How can you say he went through hell and back? His rookie contract, he was the number one pick. He got banked. Then he signed a contract extension out there where he was making an astronomical amount. Comes to Detroit, sucked for a year and a half, takes you guys to the NFC Championship. And now the second highest paid player in football. That guy is damn Kirk Cousins Jr.
JG sucked for 10 games. Even you admitted how good he looked the last 6 games of that season. Because he said
it was a losing season. I got to go with it, man. Year and a half's how it works.
No, it isn't. Because it wasn't his fault. He lost the first 9 games, was it? When we went that 1-8 stretch or 1-7, whatever we did to start that year.
You know what? You're not wrong, Brent. But all I'm just saying is he's Kirk Cousins Jr. He gets the bag and then gets the bag again. And shit, he's going to be young enough after this contract to potentially get another bag.
Pretty much. He'll be 32 at the end of it.
Hell, if the trend continues, think Kirk Cousins is 40 years old and just got another bag.
He turns 30 this year. He'll be 34 at the end of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And Cousins is what, 40, and he just got another bag?
So realistically, if Goff just doesn't suck completely, he could be probably like a $700 million career.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
Fitzpatrick's still the king. He's better than Daniel Jones.
Is he really, though, man? He's just in a better situation. Don't be a homer.
I'm not the one that said it.
I'm talking to Brent.
Oh, see, you can't tell. You're not on camera. You're just talking crap. People mad because Goff got a bag and a hot wife. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that he got a bag. I'm mad at the length of the contract, for one. I think it should have been 2 years with an out, not 3. That's just my personal opinion.
I wish this was the 9 o'clock show. I have a really great comment for that I cannot openly say right now.
But LOL Von Doom, you got me laughing.
That's the point, man. I like to have fun.
I know.
And just because his wife's hot don't mean she ain't run through. She was a model, man. There's a way to get there. Tua.
It'll be Tua. Lawrence might get paid. It depends on what his team does this year. If they are contending for a playoff spot or as the division winner, like some people projected, I don't project that. And then there's another one that was on that list this year. It was Tua, Lawrence, and who's the other one that's due?
Tua, Lawrence, Love, and Dak.
Yeah, Love and Dak. Dak's going to get a bag somewhere. It may be with Dallas, but who knows? Here's the thing, they're waiting to. They didn't get a deal done with Love to extend him this year because they want to see if he does it 2 years in a row. They want to see if it was a fluke.
You're a good point, JB. But Brent, he got the second one because of the first one. Okay, that's how it works.
Goff already had the money before he got the woman.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
A woman like that doesn't go for guys like us. Be honest about it. How many of them are dating average guys right now? How many of them are married to average guys? They're not. They're married to guys with money, no matter how they look.
Money equals power.
What do I think about a Rams-Lions Monday night game? It's not happening. It's a Sunday night game. The Monday night football game is Jets versus 49ers.
Yep.
We're still getting a primetime game, but we're getting the third one that week. I've got a record with. Hey, I've dated chicks that look like they could be models. I'm not gonna lie. We've all pulled people above our league. We've all batted above our Mendoza line. Everybody has at one point or another in their life, and that's great. Patty Grimes, good. I had a hot wife that didn't last long. No fault of mine. I had an average wife that lasted a long time. But at the same time, Hot wives demand something. It's either great looks, great in bed, or great money. And usually it's the last one that wins. Am I wrong, Von Doom?
No, you're not.
And we do everything in our power to keep them. Why? Because men take all the risk in every marriage. Tell me I'm wrong. You divorce, you lose half your shit and probably your house. Some states still have alimony. Thank God Michigan doesn't. But let's talk football instead of about hot wives and shit like that. Good job, Orlando. So right now, our 5 wide receivers that are definitely making the roster because that's already been set in stone because they are on the roster already is Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, People Jones, Khalif Raymond, and Antoine Green. Until preseason, we don't know which one of those UDFAs we signed makes the roster. Correct? Bandung? It would be nice if it was a Monday night game, but it's going to be a Sunday night game. I'm realistic because the Monday night game's already been announced. They only do one Monday night game week 1.
Yes, JB, that was correct. Sorry, I just had to confirm that oil delivery for tomorrow.
Gotcha. So the other 2 wide receivers that we have in the UDFAs is Jalen Calhoun out of Duke, who I heard had a good camp. He's just not a kick returner. And Isaiah Williams, the kick returner special teams guy that actually showed out and balled out. And yes, I did confirm that was Parker Hess, the tight end we signed that burnt Terrion Arnold at first that he corrected and got in position to to pick the ball away from. But we signed Parker Hess to the practice squad. Who else was out of those the invites that we signed? There was another guy.
Yeah, the wide receiver. Caden Daniels.
Caden Daniels. Been in the league 2 years, bounced around on practice squads, had a 43% receptions and 700 yards in the USFL. So he does have some experience. Yep, and
I
that'll
like
be
undrafted free agents, man.
it's actually week 4 is if the leak is correct, but they never get the order right. They never get the order right. But I believe Vikings is week 18 again. Week 17 will be a prime time, according to what I hear, versus 49ers. Those ones don't flex. If you remember right, anything that's listed as a primetime game automatically stays a primetime game. The ones that flex are like the Sunday games and any Saturday games they do. And that year, when college football didn't want to go up against the NBA on Christmas, that's how the NFL got on Christmas in the first place. And the NCAA allowed it. And the NBA said, yeah, sure, go ahead. We'll just move our games to a different time slot. Now, we say, screw the NBA. We get watch more anyways. We're taking over Christmas. Now you get 2 games, sometimes 3 games a day on Christmas Day.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
You get regulated.
I wish we'd do the UEFA thing. Think about it. We do have 3 semi-pro leagues other than NFL out there, right? There's a European league. Still, it's just not European NFL. It's just the Euro.
China League.
There's the Chinese Football League where Adrian Peterson's got a $40 million year the deal for 4 years. There's the Australian Football League. There's the Canadian Football League, plus the UFL.
Maybe in a couple of years, there's going to be a Saudi league, and everybody's going to go there for the money.
Right, because it's going to be like Live Golf.
Dude, forget golf. That one soccer player from England.
Mbappe.
Yeah, he got $1 billion to go play 1 year of soccer. Like
anybody that that type of money down, even if they can't win a game, I don't care how good you are. Do you agree with that? Is what he's asking, Will Vogel. The loser stays in Germany.
Sure, Will. When the Giants beat the freaking Panthers, you can stay in Germany.
So you got that as one of your wins, don't you?
I do, actually. It's one of the 3 after looking at the schedule this morning.
Hey, you're winning 6.
We're winning 3.
You're winning 6. You'll split with your division like you usually do.
No, we won't. They all got better, where we just got better at skill position, but we don't have a guy to get them the ball.
You will win 3 like you always do. Watch. I'm just telling you, watch. You will win. You will win. You'll split in your division like you always do. You always say you won't when you don't think you won't, and yet you do it still.
I don't see it this year. Football in the Olympics, it's going to be flag football.
Yeah, it's flag football. So far, there is 40 teams from different countries around the world.
Mm-hmm. And yes, the NFL players, from what I heard, are allowed to participate.
Yep. NFL players will be allowed to participate, as well as college all-stars. It'll be a mix of the team. They can't do a completely professional football team, from what I understand.
Doesn't matter. You put Pat Mahomes there, you put Tyreek Hill, and you put Justin Jefferson. Cool. Just catch up with us. We're just going to throw deep every time. I'm sorry. No little Chinese dude is going to chase Tyreek Hill down.
And Will Vogel says, I got the Giants winning 5 games.
Tyreek needs to eat so he can get some international sponsorship for his 10 kids he had this offseason. He was pulling his best Nick Cannon.
He was imitating Rod Mexico, a.k.a. Michael.
No. Rod Mexico was Michael Vick's alias when he went to the freaking STD clinic. Antonio Cromartie's the one that had 12 kids as a pro. Holy hell.
Did you not hear how many illegitimate kids Michael Vick has? He has 26.
No way.
He has 26 illegitimate children, yes.
Yes, we added a couple guys to our defense. We added Brian Burns, which is great. Tyler Newman, the safety. Andrew Phillips, that third-round corner from Western Kentucky, which still baffles the shit out of me. But we don't have the number 2 corner. We are the Lions from last year. We have a starter.
When you drafted Andrew Phillips, there was better corners on the board.
Yeah, they just liked his potential, though.
Oh, so they did
what the hell was going on.
They did the Bob Quinn mid-round pick thing, right? Like taking Jelani Tavai. We like his potential.
We like players from little bullshit schools in the middle round. Wandale Robinson was not a second-round pick on anybody else's board, and we took Wandale Robinson. Which
I said Wandale Robinson might be a second-round pick. I'm one of the few that said that.
Okay, fair enough, but
hey, you got in Matt. How you doing? I'm doing fantastic. Good to see you. We talked about Tom Roth and Dwayne Joseph, the 2 new scouting guys we brought in. There's no title for them yet. I'm waiting for that to be updated on the Lions site. Other than that, having a great day. I've digested it, but if you actually look, with $73 million as the signing bonus out of that 212. 26 kids, he must have tripped and fallen into some women. No, he would go out on away games and say his name was Ron Mexico and get a chick and bang the crap out of her.
Man, he got about as many cases as Deshaun. He got about as many kids as Deshaun Watson got cases.
I know, ain't it great?
Yes, Tommy Cutlets is still on the roster.
His chicken cut.
You know, right there. He goes, Tyreek's a loose cannon. Hopefully he doesn't get in any trouble. This is something I heard yesterday with him. He was openly betting his own team, saying, I'll bring $100,000 after the season, you bring 50, and we just race.
Yeah.
How is that fine? But Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors can't bet 10 grand on Rookie of the Year.
Okay. It does not. Wait, Ron Mexico. I did the same thing with the same alias. Uh-oh. Does not look like we're going to sign Ross the UDFA. We only got one spot left. We have 89 on the roster right now. So he could be the last guy, but I'm not for sure we do it. It's going to be a toss-up between him or Cade Peterson.
He looked good.
And Cade Peterson did look good, too. Both Ross and Peterson looked good.
Cade Peterson is a quarterback, right?
Yep.
I'd probably go Ross anyway because you guys signed Suckfeld.
Right. But I would cut Suckfeld and sign Cade Peterson, too. That's just me. I hate Nate Suckfeld with a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And to squash it again, I've seen nothing out of Allen Park that says that Brad Holmes is trading Hendon Hooker.
I know a team that needs a quarterback that would offer you guys a 7th, no problem.
And we're going to say F that.
Okay, how about we give you a starting quarterback and a 7th for your backup? Yeah.
I want your first.
Shit, if you take Daniel Jones' contract, you could have the first 2.
UFL guys look good besides Bates. There's a few out there, but unfortunately, is Suckfeld holding everyone's clipboards? Yes. But it is that time of the day where we got to talk sponsors. Our favorite one is right here. There it is, guys, in all its glory. We're going to let it out there, but I'm not saying the words. Put it in the chat, FTP, because we all know we just love them Packers fans. We found them. That's what it means. Found the Packers. FTP. FTP. Fred totally preaches. Yes.
Fred Taylor problems.
Fred Taylor. Sounds like your delivery's here. But anyways, the other sponsors that I have is Gloss Negron, the best window tinner in Saginaw, 409 Hamilton Street in Saginaw, 989-443-9240. Schedule your appointment to get your windows detailed, the windows tinted, or your car detailed, excuse me. Having one of those great mornings where I can't talk again. And FTP, FTB, FTV, F them all. Fork the pie. And last but not least, Brandon Service, South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, right here in Michigan. Stop in and check us out. Best prices on used tires starting at $40 a piece, and new tires. Call and get your quote and talk to George Red or myself. 810-233-8230. 602 West Atherton Road is the address. It's been a great day talking Lions with you guys. I always love doing this. Any day I wake up is good. Thank you, Davey, Pat, Patty Grimes, Will Vogel, Big Dan Davis, Detroit Fan Man. I love seeing you guys here. Tune in tonight as we have the roundtable talks. I'll have a few fans of other teams on there. We're going to go over the schedule releases of what's going on and go into them in detail. try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Von Doom, what do you got to say before we head out?
That international games are bullshit.
There we go. And I agree, because it takes away a home game for everybody. That being said, I want to give a shout out to the new Roku app that is going to be starting up soon. It is Huddle Sports Network. Thank you for picking us up. That's why I'm doing 2 shows back to back, is to be on that network. I'm proud to be a part of it. But as always, peace, love, and chicken grease.